Day 55. Okay. We have some big ass energy coming in this weekend, which is the 25, 26 of February. So Saturday, Sunday is big, big energy in using your divine masculine energy appropriately, which is a form of power. So Saturday, I just did the coffee chats recording, so I know what's coming up. So Saturday is going to be a day of expending that energy and not holding it in. And then Sunday is a day of being self-serving, actually. And that led me to what I want to talk about today. This is a really great ponytail. Oh my God. Anyway, um, what are you so afraid of? Question I asked myself this morning. I go through these phases where doesn't it seem like we can have almost absolutely everything, but then just that one little thing is missing. And I had a really interesting, last weekend, started this week, even though it's only Tuesday, um, of, like I said yesterday, burning bridges and really just owning it. Like, no, not doing that. And I can feel this surge of power that's been coming through for quite some time. And I'm now seeing it with my clients today so far, which is really great. I'm either seeing floundering of like, what's the point? Not inspired, confused, the anxiety, the anxiousness of waiting for something, which is so frustrating. Oh, I've got a little bit of that because like, I don't know what's next for me. And then this other vibe of move aside, son, like move. This is where I'm going. So we're in this really weird mix, this polarity of like, ooh, what are we doing with that? And so I sat with myself this morning and I was like, okay, what do you want? What do you want? Because I think I have everything that I want. But that's not the game that we're here to play. We're here to play being fully in service and fully in inspiration and receiving, whether that's abundance, love, whatever it is. Like I truly believe that that's why we're here. We're here to experience the broadness of human emotion. And so sitting with myself this morning and being like, what are you afraid of? Like I really truly live by the motto, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And I'm pretty fierce in if I want something and I'm really clear that that's what I want, I'm unstoppable. And so here I am in the space of my life is beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's so fulfilling. I love my home. I need for nothing. But yet, mm, this can't be it. This cannot be it. And so what am I so afraid of? And what I am so afraid of is the story that I was told my whole fucking life by the women in my life that I'm too strong, that I'm heartless, that I'm emotionless, that I am too fierce, that I'm too powerful, that it makes me unkind, it makes me a bitch. Fuck it. I'm moving into bitch. I've tried so hard my whole life to not be perceived that way because that was a story that was pushed on me for having so much drive and so much passion. And so I sat with a friend last night having a really in-depth conversation about a lot of different things about so it's one of my best guy friends talking about sex and receiving, talking about relationships and receiving, talking about navigating as a woman and seeing the sorry to offend. I am not against anything whatsoever. I am pro be you 100%, always be you. But the misogyny coming through in specifically white trans women being pushed, there's a huge movement happening right now. It's putting a fire under my ass, not in that, but in don't tell me what I can and cannot be. Like, how fucking dare you? I don't want to be told what I can and cannot be. And that sort of like unfolded into I'm too strong. And that's something that I've had to fight against. And I have the biggest fucking heart in the world. Like, God, I love full throttle everything. I love my clients full throttle. I love my career, my home, my pets, my friends, full throttle. I'm really good at boundaries, yeah. But really coming to terms with I know my intentions. I know the purity of my heart. And if you want to perceive me as being a righteous bitch, that's on you. because I don't want to be told what to be anymore. I don't want to be told what I can label my breast tissue, chest tissue. I don't want to be told that I can't be sexually empowered. I don't want to be told that I have to be in a relationship, that I need a man or a woman or a partner. I don't want that story anymore. And I tip into it sometimes. I tip into, oh no, don't say that. Oh no, can't be that. Oh, that's too strong, because of the story that was pushed upon me for my whole fucking life. My the other women in my life growing up were very sensitive. We're all empaths to different degrees, but very sensitive and very beautiful. And a lot of my friends, I have a lot of cancer friends in my life who are very emotional. And I think it's delicious and delightful and beautiful. It's just not me. And I don't want to use the word I have envy for it, but I admire it a tremendous amount. It's just not me. And I have to be okay with that. I have to be okay with being too strong or perceived as too strong. So I'm really navigating that today. And it's putting this like, if nothing changes, nothing changes. So what am I changing? And it's so interesting to me that the last month, I've been flourishing in different pieces of my life that I didn't anticipate. I've been flourishing in my perception of love. Now I'm burned a lot of bridges, so I'm going to be single for a bit. That's fine. I'm flourishing in my definition of love. I'm flourishing in my self-care. I'm flourishing in my physical, although my immune system is still struggling with this cold, but anyway, but I'm flourishing. And then because of all of that flourishing, I've stopped working out. I've been too sick, too busy, too whatever. And I'm like, whoa, that really serves me. It makes my mental body so strong. And it's not about changing the shape of my body, because I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about my curves. Not my problem. I love myself. I want to work out because it makes me mentally strong. But it's so interesting that that was a thing that I gave up going through the last month. And the hardest decision about starting that again is actually just getting out of bed and doing it. And I didn't this morning, and I was pissed. Afterwards, I was pissed at myself. I was like, all right, what are you so afraid of? And I think I'm a little bit afraid of being perceived as self-righteous too, because I am really strong. I do really love myself. You guys have heard the stories about like, no, I think I'm the bomb. Like, I think I'm amazing. I think every human is amazing. And I want that for every human in my life. I want to blaze that trail right now. I really want to blaze the trail of unsurpassed confidence. Like, you cannot know, like, this is what I am. I value myself and I love myself. I want that for the world. And that gets perceived as selfish, too strong, too sexually empowered. Can't possibly be that in your 40s. Which some of you may not agree with that, but I am the woman living that and getting that for sure. The like, I have built and busted my ass to have the life that I have right now. And it's great. But if I have it all, including the strong mental body that I'm desiring right now and the strong physical body, what kind of judgment am I going to receive because of that? And I think that's a fear that I have, that I am willing to face. And I feel that it's going to change how I receive and be able to change more lives. The higher your vibration, the more expansive your vibration, the more you attract in what vibrationally matches you. And right now, I've had this whole swirl of powerful women signing up for divine alignment who are there, and I get to take them to the next level. I'm the high caliber, badass bitches. Like, oh yeah, these game changing women are coming to my life over the last couple of weeks. And so, that's a reflection of me stepping in as well. And then I'm like, well, if I step in more, I get to change more lives. All right. So I'm going to do it. And well, I am doing it right now. So yeah, I guess that's sort of the thing to process today is, what are you afraid of? What's the story that you're afraid of? I've been holding back. I'm being so nice. And I like being nice. It's okay. Like, this is a big piece of me, but I'm always on. I'm always in love. I'm always in cheerleader mode. I'm in discovery mode. I'm in passion mode all the time for my social circle, my clients, my pet, my dog, my God, my dog right now. So needy. And I'm in like nurturing, loving, giving mode. And I think one of the fears of being single is who does that for me? I know how to do it for me, but it's real fucking nice to get it received, like to get it back from someone, right? Not that I need that. It's just something I desire. So this journey of, all right, what does this look like for me? And do I have to be so like pleasant all the time? I don't want to be. I want to be a bitch. And not that I want to be a bitch to people. And maybe bitch isn't the right term. I guess it's how we define it. Badass, maybe. Unfiltered, unstoppable, fierce, powerful. Those are the words. That's how I identify bitch. In control, like step aside. So yeah, kind of processing that right now. So what are we going to change? We've got today's Tuesday. We're going into a big ass energy on Saturday and Sunday that is very masculine oriented. So I am avoiding social media like crazy on those days because I can just see like what's going to be projected because this is a collective vibe that we're going through right now. So Saturday, it's all about expending. So either ego dumping, getting your ego out onto paper, just get it out, say what you need to say. This needs to be heard. This is not something to shun, and this is not a negative thing. You're human. You're allowed to be annoyed with people in the grocery store. You are allowed to be agitated by misogyny. You are allowed to be frustrated with inequality. You are allowed to feel these things. It's how we handle those energies and what we do with them. Never would I want to project onto anyone. Never would I want to make anybody feel small, inadequate, or unequal. That is not my jam. I've spent my whole life feeling that. I'm not doing that to other people. But what I will do is call out inappropriate behavior. 100%. I will set a fucking boundary and be like, that does not work in my world. You don't get to be in my life if that's your attitude. And I did experience some of that on the weekend, which was anyway. So if nothing changes, nothing changes. I want to step more into, and I've been saying this for a while, but I don't think I know the full definition of what that badass is, or if I feel safe being her in the world, if I'm fearful of the overall judgment, if I have it all, am I going to be judged? Am I going to be persecuted for that? There's a lot of unnecessary competition. My daughter and I had this wicked ass conversation. We are considering starting a podcast where we talk very unfiltered from two generations of women of what it's like, you know, raising yourself and raising a woman in the world. We're considering it. If I do it, I'm probably going to do it unmasked, like masked, so that I can really speak unfiltered without being afraid. But anyway, but we had this interesting conversation. She's like, you know what we fucking need? We're talking about misogyny. We're talking about, you know, what it's like being a woman and that men traditionally, not all, but from our experiences, only our experiences, men do not understand how vulnerable it is for a woman to spread her legs, to let you into her body. And there's a lot of men in dating relationships that just come up and honk a breast or slap or think that they somehow own your body. And no, you need consent for that. Just because I'm with you doesn't mean you get to just manhandle it, grope it, and make beeping sounds. No, not doing that. This is my sacred space. So this is to be honored and respected. And you have to have permission moving forward to touch it. And even if I catch you gazing at it inappropriately, saying something, it's not yours. It's not yours. This is mine. Don't I fuck it. Don't disrespect it, dishonor it because you've got some blood flow happening in your lower regions. Not cool. And so we had this conversation and she's like, we need, like, it would be so cool if we could generate a month of awareness of close your fucking legs. Like you don't get in for a month in the intention of learning to honor oneself and learning to honor that vulnerability that it takes, learning for your partner to honor the vulnerability that it takes, that we need to be awakened in more levels than a clitoris, that we need to be, it serves us to have intimacy across the board, not just under the sheets. So we had this really powerful conversation. She's like, it would be so cool if we could generate a month of closing my fucking legs. Like we had no nut November. Like, oh, okay, cool. Like, what's ours? And so we are talking about that. I'm so fucking bitchy right now, right? So we're talking about that. And I said, you know what the challenging part is? And I've seen it firsthand. And it makes me so sad because I think that there's so many mothers that are failing their daughters right now. The shit part about it is twofold. One, the women who are highly competitive because they need a partner wouldn't participate. They would take that as an opportunity to be superior in their opinion, to be the ones to get the man or the partner or whatever. And we do have that going on in our species. There is that, not across the board, but there is this competitive nature that we're fighting against each other somehow. And that shit's got to stop. It's got to stop. I think if we all learned how to honor our bodies, the world would be a different place. Number one. Number two, think about pornography and how in my generation, the 40s, and I had this conversation with one of my guy friends last night. Pornography, you had to either find your dad's magazine or video that he had hidden, or you're going to go to the store where it's on the top shelf, so you're not going to get it. So it wasn't as available. And now we've got these freaking gadgets where you can find anything. And that whole industry is about, she's on her knees begging for the gross things that we actually really don't want to do. And so we're conditioned that that's what men want. Not that I've ever done that, but that's what men want. So therefore we become what we think we have to in order to be the best, in order to be kept, in order to have him so that he doesn't cheat on us, that he doesn't walk away from us, or that we can be secure finally with a relationship. Like it's so messed up. And if you think about that and hormones starting in and around 10, 11, 12, 13, so these impressionable minds are seeing this online and defining that that's what intimacy is. What's it going to look like in another 10 years from now? If that's what we're doing, what's it going to look like in another 10 years from now? We're disconnected emotionally because we're on our gadgets. You see couples, you go to a restaurant, you see couples on their phones, not actually engaging in each other. And I love technology. I think it's a gift when used properly, but we're seeing this disconnect. So if there's an emotional disconnect and this is what they're feeding for their, hormones, their pleasure, what does 10 years from now look like in our society for women? What does it look like for us? Like we're ruining ourselves. Like we're just a breed, a species that is going downhill so fast. And like, I don't think so. Not on my watch. I don't like, no, no, no. I think it's horrible when we stop to think about those things. Ignorance is bliss. We love to like turn a blind eye and just deal with our own realities. But I don't want that for my granddaughters. Not a chance. I don't want it for my daughter who's 24. I don't want it for me. So how do we create that change? Right? How do we come together and let women be women? How do we come together and honor the challenges? And I'm saying men have challenges. I can't even imagine the courage it takes to fully embrace being trans. That's got to take a lot of beautiful courage, man. And we're in a world where it's opening up, but we're not there yet. We're not in love with each other yet. But when you're starting to pull misogyny through those things, that's like, oh man, you're ruining it. You're ruining it. I don't see any trans men claiming that their dicks now need to be called like sexual performance tools. Like it's just out of hand. But anyway, that's my vent. And if you want to attack me for being transphobic or any of those things, that's on you. That's not my intention with this at all. Like I said, I love all of humanity and I dream of a time when we can just fucking love each other without changing each other and fully embracing and accepting each other. But I don't think that happens until we do it for ourselves. So that is my rant. End scene. How are you going to do that for yourself this week? I'm going on a massive deep dive into my fears of being too strong, being perceived as a bitch, being perceived as self-righteous. I'm a woman who's figured it out. I have a really fucking good life. You want to judge it? Maybe just follow the path I walked. Maybe try that. I don't know. But the competition has to go. So, let's do it. I don't even know what else to add to that. I'm just fired today. And it makes me really sad at the same time. I want us to live ourselves. So someone's got to lead the way. Give me a microphone. Let's go. Right? Let's find out how this goes. All right, that's that. That's day 55. You gonna join me?